application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, 27 East 62nd Street, located within the Upper East Side Historic District. It's docket number 168419, an apartment building with neo-Renaissance style details designed by Lawler and Haas and built in 1912-1913. The application is to construct additions.
No, although actually one of my first history presentations was at Brooke, who was at the Springs. So I'm just watching the past.
People you want to be. These are the people you want to be. The people who come up right after that.
Right.
Butter.
Shelton.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Bernard's Preservation Department staff. This application is for 62nd Street. The proposal is for two additions. The building is on the north side of the street, just a little east of Madison Avenue. So this is the building that we're looking at. The proposal is for the construction of two additions. So you can see that there is a light airwell port on the western side of the building, so they're proposing to fill this in. You're seeing that here. There is an existing rooftop addition. The proposal also includes an altering the existing rooftop addition. So you can see a little bit of it in the photo on the left. The proposed one is on the right. It will be set back further from the front facade than the existing penthouse, but it will extend further towards the rear and the side facades. It will be visible from Madison Avenue and slightly farther to the west, as well as it will have a view coming from the other direction at the east. And the applicant will go through those aspects. One other thing I would like to mention is they're going to make also a modification to the parapet on the eastern side of the facade, which I'll mention as well.
Thank you, Bernadette. Good afternoon, Shelley Friedman, Friedman and Gottbaum. We are counsel to the land use council to the ownership here. As Bernadette said, this building at 41 it is a former residential building. It is being converted to a corporate building. It's an interesting block in that there are only 4 buildings on the north side of the block that face the street. And 2 of them are already commercial. There's only 1 residential building on the north side of the street, and one on the opposite side of the street because of the Browning School, the Lynx Club, and other buildings. This is very much a commercial block, and has been one for many years. The application has 3 parts. One is the restoration work that's going to be taking place that the architects David Katz and Brian Gillen will will take you through. Secondly, as you see, based on its old residential character, this was in a standard H configuration in plan with the 2 light wells on the east and west sides of the building. Those light wells are no longer needed for residential purposes, and so we are proposing an infill. The one on the east has been approved at the staff level because it's not visible from the public way, and we have a certificate of no effect already for that as well. The one on the west, David will take you through, but this allows us to get the floor plan that we need to make the building work for corporate home office, for corporate space. In addition, there is already a floor that's set back. It's a bit of a metal shack. It's too large to be a penthouse, It's really just a setback floor all around. It's clad in metal, probably from what we can tell, maids' quarters originally in the residential building. We are retaining that, we are changing its footprint, and because we need to raise the roof a couple feet, the roof of this building is also coming up, the 10th floor is coming up approximately 6 feet. Those are the changes. The building comes to you with the support of the 62nd Street Association, which has submitted a letter in support of the application. It was approved at the Landmarks Committee of Board 8 by a vote of 8-1, and by the full board by a vote of 32-2. We believe we've brought a successful adaptive reuse of a building which you saw several years ago and rejected for the work that was proposed. The previous residential owner was going to add several floors and do something to really jazz up the retail base, which we are not going to do. There are two retail units at the base. We are eliminating one entirely, and the other will be a quiet space. We're looking for no signage, lighting, or any change at the ground level, except to restore it to historic condition. Introduce David Katz, who's the architect of the project, who can take you through the presentation. Thank you.
I think you can be brief, though.
I'm going to,
Because
but I just wanted to start out, so this is the building, Lower Hayes, 1912, tripartite facade. The only thing I wanted to point out on this photograph is that there's a strange condition right here, and the reason I'm pointing out is it's going to show up later. The facade on the west side is set back about less than 2 inches, so it's less than a course of brick. And I bring that up because we're trying to determine exactly how to infill that to align it with the brick above. We're proposing that it be stucco, and we're taking the coining down the side of the building. The proposed and existing facades, here we're doing a fair amount of restoration, replacing windows and so forth, cleaning the brick. But what I really wanted to point out here is the replacement of the cornice. The building is obviously somewhat worse for wear. The cornice is missing. There's also a number of window air conditioners and through-wall ACs that are going to be removed. The facade of the building, this is the existing condition. Our building is right over here. We just wanted to make note of the fact, I mean, this is a photo montage below, it's taken from 62nd Street, but really what we're pointing out here is the amount of construction on the roof of the adjacent buildings and the fact that it's not visible. And what we're proposing, which is an enlargement of approximately 5 feet on the roof, in addition to some mechanical equipment, will also not be visible. Floor plan, this is at the first floor, existing and proposed. Typical floor, existing and proposed. You can see the infill on the right-hand side for this there elevator. And this is the most noticeable change. This is at the 9th floor. The areaway here, which we're proposing to infill. The 10th floor, again, this is the existing plan of the building that we're regularizing and setting back several feet. We're also setting the front of the building back. And the roof plan, mimicking what was below. The larger volumes are going to be on the east side, which is the least visible section of the roof. We're trying to gang up the mechanical equipment as much as possible towards the northeast side of the building where it's least visible. We're maintaining the water tower using a hybrid mechanical system to reduce the mechanical equipment footprint as much as possible. Here is the section, the existing section looking north, and the proposed section. The section looking west, and the proposed section here. And again, the facade, the existing and proposed, the amount that we're coming up, there's the existing roof, and we're coming up about 5 feet or so. This is the facade that I mentioned in that first slide. So you can see the areaway is what we are infilling. And essentially we're bringing the brick out to the same level as both flanking sides. This is that zone where we presently have stucco. There's this brick coining of the face brick that's turning the corner, and we're bringing that down as much as possible, and then infilling the stucco here. Again, this is just that strange condition. We're not entirely sure why it's there, but to add a brick would clearly create an additional shadow line. Here's the back of the building, just to show we're replacing the windows, again with wood double hung windows. The larger volume is shifted to the east side of the building where it's less visible. This view of the looking east is almost entirely invisible. The only thing to point out here is the extension of the parapet on that facade, which is visible. You'll see from the street view, and then these large volumes which are not visible. Section through the 10th floor and the 9th floor roof, we're increasing the structure and the insulation for structural reasons, obviously, and also for energy cover. So here's that same view again. So this is looking west. That's the looking east rather. That's the areaway. That's the infill, and that is the new volume that we are proposing. We're maintaining the same cladding or similar cladding, and facing the building, we're using reclaimed windows on that volume as well. Here's the view looking northeast, again with the areaway infill. Here's that stucco that I was talking about. This coining will extend down as far as it does, and we're not entirely sure how far down it goes. We're going to clean the building though and re-stucco that section. These are new wood windows. The view looking from the southeast, looking up at the new volume, which is located here. The parapet here is pulled back slightly. View of the mock-up, which is not easily viewable. It is there. They were suspended out over 10 stories. Again, looking at this is looking southeast. Some of the materials we're using, we're proposing to infill with similar brick, the stucco on the west facade, existing terracotta, wood windows, plate coated copper, and the reclaimed windows, tension wire railings to make them as invisible as possible. At the lower level, we're introducing some light fixtures, which would be ribbed glass. We're also replacing the steel and glass doors, where they've been earlier replaced by items that were not historically accurate. This is a curious, well, we're replacing the cornice with what we believe to be a fairly close replica of what the original architect had put in. It's a little difficult to determine from the tax photo. We do have some evidence from 75th Street, a building done by the same architect that we are trying to. I'm sorry?
Okay. Okay. All right, questions?
Yeah.
Yes,
on,
John.
If we look at page 21, the proposed on the right side there, is there a reason why we don't just go with brick all the way down below that,
The stucco line?
the bottom half there? I mean, I like the idea that you extend the coining down all the way, but I don't, is there a reason why not go brick there?
Well, we could take brick down there. I mean, it's a very curious condition. The problem is that, we have this line here that is running across the length of the building, or at least that side, so there would be an awkward condition where the brick meets the stucco in that case. Yeah, the brick would extend down.
I'm sorry,
I also didn't understand.
yeah,
Yes.
I think my question is why we don't just go brick from
All the way down.
instead of having that line there, which draws attention to that side of the building, right? Why not just keep going as far down as you can?
Yeah, the existing, this is existing stucco, and it's set back less than a course of brick. So if we were to clean, that stucco, we could clean that stucco off, but there would be a setback there that would be less than a full course of brick back. So if we were to introduce brick in this, what we're trying to do is create as much of a flat facade.
Yeah, so the brick, if you did brick, it would stand proud
It would
of,
stand
Yeah.
the bottom half would stand proud of the
That's
top.
right, that's right.
What about thin brick?
I'm sorry?
What about thin brick?
Thin brick, I guess, could be used there. I'm not a fan of using thin brick on the facade just because it doesn't weather as well.
I agree. But it would work.
Okay, any other questions?
It's just in terms of the detail that you have for the height of the penthouse.
Yes.
So it's the penthouse and then the other floor are there two floors that are new or just one?
Just one. We are doing work on the roof, just as the ninth floor roof needs to be rebuilt, but this is the only involvement.
And what's the height of that? And is it possible to have it less visible by dropping it a foot or so?
Well, it's going to be an event space. We have the floor, the interior height there is 11 feet. The rest of the dimension there is based on the structural requirements and the insulation requirements.
But the insulation's only for that piece, right? It's not for the building.
Yeah, it's for that. It adds to the height of the structure. So.
Right, and given that
So,
it,
for example, that structure, that's what I'm talking about. So this height is 11 feet. The structure here, this is not going to have any impact on the height, but that will have.
right, and why, okay.
The new additional height is only, sorry,
It just seems,
I'm Brian
un-
Callahan, also working with David. The new additional height that we're adding is only nominally 5 feet higher than the top of the current penthouse structure. So as you can see here, it goes from 100 feet to 105.
But that.
right, but it's coming close, right.
In terms of visibility, that's not what, 5 feet isn't the question, it's really the height, what makes it that 5 feet? Why couldn't it be
Just to
4 feet?
clarify
Right.
how much
So
we're
it could be
adding.
4 feet if it were smaller inside.
We
And-
tried to pare it down as much as possible.
Okay, my other question was about the detail of the cornice and where it came from. Is it that, because you had a photograph earlier of an old cornice, was that, are any of those photographs of anything that we think is historic or?
Oh, well, I can show you from that first image is
Yes, what is that?
it's a
what is
curious
it?
looking cornice, but that's that is the existing.
Yes, and what was that? What material?
Well, we're assuming that it's metal, it's just a copper lead coating.
It's a
Yeah,
dental
Bernadette?
cornice.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just it's a dent.
intended to match the historic condition is being reviewed at staff level, so the cornice isn't part of the public
Oh,
hearing.
okay.
It's that they're doing restoration work with that.
Oh,
Okay. Should we take testimony? Okay. Barbara Say?
Barbara Zay of the Historic Districts Council. HDC wishes to applaud the applicant on a very sensitive front facade restoration, including the reintroduction of the cornice and sheet metal and the cleaning and repairing of masonry. On the west elevation, the applicant is proposing to push the wall forward without changing the character of that facade, a refreshing and sensitive approach. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Hall?
Michael Hall, Friends of the Upper East Side. Our committee would first like to applaud the restorative work the applicant will undertake on the front facade of the building. The return of the cornice, brick restoration, limestone cleaning, return to wood frame windows, and removal of window and through-wall air conditioning units will make an impactful change to the south facade. We did have some reservations about filling in the western light well, especially due to its high visibility from Madison Avenue. Our committee would prefer to see some memory of the original inset condition demonstrated either through brickwork or perhaps a reduction of windows in the center bay. In addition, removal of 1 or 2 lines of windows or a less regular arrangement of windows would be more appropriate for the secondary facade. Regardless, the Preservation Committee of Friends supports the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Are there any more speakers on this item? Okay, Community Board 8 also recommends approval of this project. So, all right, any other questions for the applicant? Okay, comments? I'm also, okay. All right, we're all okay as is?
What about the thing with the brick infill? Can we suggest that, or maybe just?
Like it as it is.
It's okay with me, but others?
I think it would look better with the brick, but, and I'd be okay with the step, out.
But, okay, so, but let's just be clear. They can work with staff, so they could see if they can extend the brick all the way down, but if they cannot because of the...
Well, they said they could do it if we were okay with a step, right? Because it'd be a change in plane of about an inch or so, inch or two. And I'm just saying,
That's
I'm
fine
okay
with-
with the change in plane.
Or I think the suggestion was a veneer brick. There-
veneer brick?
Well, I understand their reticence. It's probably, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, I'd rather
All
not
right,
go.
so it would actually mean just that it's, there'll be a plane that's slightly different, correct? Okay, and if we think that brick overall would unify the facade?
What would that mean on that fringe edge?
No,
It would stay, but
it will go all the way to that point, right?
Maybe inside a little bit.
Which,
of that.
At the coins, I think at the
That a little bit. I'm assuming from the picture, they are better that the limestone is in plane with the brick. And if the brick below it pops out a little bit, it would be popping out from the limestone too.
Well, the coin's not there right now.
It is.
Just as a clarification on that edge parapet, that's actually brick face brick, it's not limestone. So it is coined and it does appear to be historic, but it's brick, not limestone.
This is the coin brick that wraps the coin.
okay. All right, so they'll work with staff? We're fine with that? Okay. So, okay, good. So we can close the hearing.
So moved.
And Michael? Oh, I don't know if you'd been already called on as yet.
But
Okay, I've
I won't
lost
make an issue
track.
of it.
Okay. Sorry
Regarding
about that.
27 East 62nd Street in the Upper East Side Historic District, the application is to construct additions, noting that the style, scale, materials, design, details of the building are among the features which contribute to the special architectural and historic character of the Upper East Side Historic District. I recommend approval, finding that the construction of a full-height addition at the side of the building eliminating an existing utilitarian air well and the enlargement of the existing modern rooftop addition will not eliminate any significant architectural features of the building, that the continuous lot line wall to be created by the construction of a full-height addition at the side of the building will be in keeping with lot line walls at buildings of this type, style, and age in terms of plane, proportions, materials, finishes, and details, that the proposed masonry openings in the windows at the lot line will be in keeping with lot line openings and windows at buildings of this type, style, and age in terms of placement, size, basic design, and remain a harmonious secondary presence in relation to the fenestration at the front facade of the building. That the enlargement of the rooftop addition will only be visible over secondary facades within the context of a varied streetscape view, including taller neighboring buildings. That the modifications to the existing rooftop addition will regularize its form as seen from Madison Avenue and further westward, helping it to remain a background element within streetscape views. That the simple design and neutral finish of the enlarged rooftop addition will be in keeping with such aspects of the rooftop accretions typically found throughout the district and further help it to recede from view. The applicant will work with staff to either extend the brick down or not, based on staff's discretion.
I'm fine with that. Okay. All right, very good. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The application's approved.